You're welcome to the Afia Sports Review Spot on Afia TV. This is the first Afia TV sports show for the year 2026, February to be precise. It's great to be here, guys. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope January was very good and kind to you. Now we're here in the month of February. Some call it the month of love, and some others call it some other things. But all the same, it is a wonderful month, and I know that the prospects are great. Welcome, guys. And my name is CC Emechebe here, also known as CC the Rabbi, on the Afia Sports Review Spot. The frequencies still remain the same on Afia TV, channels 254 DSTV, channel 748 Free TV, and channel 17 Go TV. I'm here, not alone, but with the guys, the very, very trusty guys, who are always ready to give you what you need to learn about in the world of sports. I start with the man at my immediate left, right here, the one that we call the blessed Zik himself, Ziko Rangene.
Yes.
Zik, good to have you.
Pleasure to be here once again, doing this with you guys. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here.
Indeed it is. And of course, you know, he said you guys so that you know that there's no ghost inside here. We had three at the very least. And the third person that we have here is none other than the man that we call the divinator, who has divining tools every now and then. I don't know why he uses them. I don't know what he uses them for. I'm not a victim of their use or abuse, but all the same, it's good to have you here, Divine Onwuka, the divinator.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
You guys know this is February, the month of love, so they say. So, did I say anything? I don't know.
No, just carry on.
Okay, all the same, yeah. I mean, laughter is free, so laugh every now and then, but love is also free. Yeah, love is free. Yeah. I know what I said.
It's all right.
Okay, we'll go straight to the headline news. First of all, we start from the Metro, but this has to do with one of the sister clubs here in the southeastern part of Nigeria where we're domiciled. Enugu, to be precise, is where we're domiciled in the 042. That is the coal city, Enugu. But we start with NPFL news, and recently, Enyimba of Aba appointed a legend, Super Eagles legend and defender, the man they call Uche Okechukwu, appointed him as the new sporting director of Enyimba. So Enyimba International have a new sporting director in a bid to improve their fortunes in the world of sport, particularly in the NPFL. Enyimba, it must be remembered, are the 9-time champions of the Nigerian Premier Football League, but they have floundered so far this season and they really need to get their mojo back, which is why they've appointed somebody who's extremely experienced in Uche Okechukwu. It must be remembered that Uche Okechukwu played for Iwanyanwu National, and before he went on to Europe and then played for the likes of Bromby, Fenerbahce, and then, of course, ended his career with Bayelsa United in Nigeria. So Uche Okechukwu is back in the frame of things domestically. The next bit of news we have here has to come from the English Premier League. And of course, we always like talking about Nigerian news, but the fact is that the player in question is of Nigerian descent. That is because Arsenal winger Noni Madueke, who joined from Chelsea Football Club at the start of last season, has been awarded officially the 38-minute goal that was scored in the Premier League, the second goal that was scored against Leeds United in Arsenal's 4-0 mauling of Leeds United at Elland Road. It must be remembered that the goal was the second goal scored directly from a corner kick, and it was originally credited to Daru, the goalkeeper, Leeds United goalkeeper. But after much further examination, because of the trajectory of the corner and where it was going on target, it was deemed a Noni Madueke goal. What that means is that the goal is not only Noni Madueke's first Arsenal goal in the English Premier League, but it was what you call an Olympico. That is a goal scored directly from the corner kick. So we say congratulations to Noni Madueke for that. Then in athletics, Temitope Adeshina equals her national record of 1.97 meters to win the women's high jump at the Razorback Invitational. Now, of course, it must be remembered that Temitope Adeshina, she equaled this record. It was the national record that she set 3 times. She's jumped this 1.97 meters 3 times, and she's getting ready to become the next big thing in the world of high jump, particularly in athletics. So look out for her in the Olympic Games, God willing, because she's one of the bright hopes for Nigeria in the Olympic Games that will be coming up very, very soon. We go straight to the next bit of news, and that has to do with the NPFL Match Week 24. NPFL Match Week 24 There were games that were played in the match week 24, and we want to give you the information about the breakdown. There were games played yesterday, over the weekend, and then, of course, there are follow-up games that will be played today. We'll talk about those games today, and there are games that are ongoing as we speak. For instance, Barao FC are leading Ikorodu City by 1-0 as we speak. It's the 68th minute, while Kwara United are leading Warri Wolves in the 46th minute. They just started the second half not too long ago. 10-man Remo Stars. I don't know how we're going to solve the problem of Remo Stars, but 10-man Remo Stars are losing at home to Plateau United in the 47th minute. But we'll give you the other results from yesterday. First of all, we had in the round of 24 games, Cathedral United beating Abia Warriors 2-0. Wiki Tourists and Nassau United shared spoils there in Bauchi, a 1-1 draw, while Niger Tornadoes and Bendel Insurance also shared spoils in a 2-2 draw. Rangers International, the Flying Antelopes, beat Kano Pillars 2-0. That was the first time they are beating Kano Pillars in 3 consecutive NPFL games, because they lost the 3 consecutive games. And then the Shooting Stars game against Rivers United was postponed for obvious reasons. We'll get to that in a bit. Rivers United had continental engagements. That's why the calendar was really choked. They had to get that game postponed. Now, the standings in the NPFL at the moment, Rivers United are top on the log with 41 points, and they are ahead of Nassau United, who are second with 40 points. But Rivers United have 3 games in hand, so it's still a massive gap that's there for them. Then Rangers International, Rangers are third, which is good news. The Flying Antelopes are third with 39 points. Ikorodu City are fourth. Oga Boys have 38 points. Abia Warriors are fifth with 38 points as well. Shooting Stars of Ibadan are sixth with 35 points. Niger Tornadoes are seventh with 34 points. The same number of points as Bendel Insurance in eighth. While Warri Wolves and Cathedral United share the same number of points, 33 to be precise, in 9th and 10th, but goal difference separates them. Then the second half of the table has Enyimba. Enyimba are 11th on the log with 31 points, the same number of points as El Kanemi Warriors, but with a superior goal difference. While Barao FC and Plateau United share 30 points as it stands, because they are playing as we speak, but they are currently 13th and 14th on the log, respectively. Wiki Tourists are 15th on the log with 28 points, which is the same number of points as Bayelsa United in 16th. Now, the relegation zone consists of Kwara United, who have 27 points, Remo Stars, defending champions, who have 26 points but have played a game more or are playing a game more than Kwara United. Then Same Sugida, Kano Pillars, who recently lost to Rangers International, are second from bottom with 25 points, while the Basement Boys, who still have a game in hand, are Kun Khalifat of Owerri. They have 22 points. The NPFL is looking very, very dicey right now. This is match week 24. I know that the likes of Rivers United have played 21 games. They still have a lot of football to play. But at this point, this coming weekend is going to be match week 25, which means officially we can say that the final third of the season will begin from after this weekend. And normally the final third of the season is where you separate the men from the boys. And then you know whether you have your you have your work cut out, but you know whether you're going to either compete for the title, or you're going to finish mid-table, or you're going to avoid relegation, or you're going to get sucked down. That's the reality that we have on ground. But I'm going to start with you first of all, Zik. Rangers, of course, the major focus and good news for those of us who are here in Enugu, who are supporters of Rangers International, the Flying Antelopes. They've done a fantastic job. They are doing a fantastic job. The interview of Fidelis Ilechukwu, Coach Fidelis Ilechukwu, shows that Rangers are still in the title race. They are gunning for the title. And being third on the log with 39 points is a good thing there. After that win, that big 2-0 win over Kano Pillars, banishing the demons of the last 3 games. I remember that this fixture, the corresponding fixture from last season, was an embarrassment. 4-0 at halftime. Rangers had to come from behind and then at least salvage some pride and score 3 goals. You know, Isaac Saviour's 2 strikers, wonderful from outside the 18-yard box, but it was not to be. So starting with you, Zik, what do you make of this weekend, and how much do we have to expect from the Flying Antelopes moving forward?
Yeah, it's a very, very understandable point that Rangers have been, I wouldn't say that they have been poor. I wouldn't say that they've been fantastic, but there is a lot that it has left a lot to be desired from Rangers' perspective. We have been on air, we have talked about Rangers not being as fluid as they used to be, especially when they won the league.
Yes.
But we also commented on the fact that last season and this season are like night and day, because remember, Rangers were very atrocious last season.
That's true.
But this season, they are very, very okay. They are third on the log. But I don't think they're in the title race. I just think that their aim should be to qualify for a CAF competition. Because, I don't think that they're in a title race. Rivers United have 3 games that they are still going to play. Points in the bag is better than points to be played for. That's the main saying in football. But I think the focus of this team should be consolidate the first 3 positions and, build on from there. For me, I think that the title race, I don't think there is enough pressure from Nasarawa United, from Rangers, and the rest of the chasing pack to trouble Rivers United. For me, but I think that in football anything can happen. So why not?
Well, truth be told, anything can happen. I want to get your. That's what I was getting to you right now, to get your reaction to this, because clearly the league season is not a sprint but a marathon. There's a lot that needs to be played. There are many games to be played, just like Zeke alluded to. A game in the hand is not necessarily equivalent to points in the bag.
True.
So anything can happen. You can drop those points.
Yeah.
So I need to get your thoughts on this, Divine, from a Rangers perspective. And then I know you flinched when I mentioned the fact that Abia Warriors lost and the name by themselves. Not a very good day for Abia teams.
I know. Thanks for giving me that bullet. I've taken it like a
My
man.
job is to tell the truth. But go ahead, please.
Okay, so I actually came from the part where he said that there's no there's no hope.
I didn't say there was no title race.
Okay, good. There's no title race. I'm just trying to. Okay, now see, for me, this is football. Anything can still happen. Yes, the only glitch I see there is the fact that Rivers United have 3 games in hand to play. We don't know what will happen in those 3 games. Having 3 games in hand is not an excuse for Rangers to, back out and say, okay, let's just focus on getting a good position and qualifying for CAF next year. No, Rivers United are under a very serious pressure. They are still in CAF, and here they are trying to win the NPFL title. So even if they lose to CAF, we don't know if their heads will be up to face the NPFL, because they have more matches to play. So having an outstanding game has its merits and it has its demerits. So we don't know what will happen within those 3 games. So let's just watch. All I have to say is Rangers and Nasarawa United should keep their head up and keep the pressure on. There is pressure. Yeah. There's pressure. As it stands now, it's just 2 to 3 points separating Rivers United and Enugu Rangers, the Flying Antelopes. So
there's 2 points, but 3 games more.
3 games, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Aside the 3 games, I'm just seeing that it's still a close shave. Rangers should keep their head up. Nasarawa United should keep their head up. And let's see how it will unfold. We are not sure of what will happen in those 3 games. Because those 3 games, you won't say it's going to be a walkover.
No,
for Rivers United.
Part of the problem of keeping your head up is that you might get decapitated, and I don't know. That's a problem. Coming to the issue of Rivers United, shouldn't this... I'm trying to find the right way to put it, but if you notice, the manager of Rivers United is Finidi George. He has experience winning the NPFL. He did that with Enyimba. So shouldn't that play into the picture? Shouldn't that be something that's counted as a sort of advantage, considering the fact that Rivers United may have just one thing to focus on, and that's trying to win the league title? Because we'll get to that in a bit. The CAF Champions League aspirations, they've been dealt a heavy blow after that result against Power Dynamos. We'll talk about that in a bit. But shouldn't you just shift your focus from what you cannot have and then focus on what you can have? That's the thing, and that's what I'm talking about,
Okay, well, let's just see what will happen. But it's not going to be easy, like I said. Winning 3 games, outstanding games for that matter, and then still trying to balance the books with the CAF or with the normal NPFL, as in coming back to.
I don't think there's any balance in the books for for CAF.
Why do you say so?
They're already out from the CAF competition.
Mathematically, they're still in it.
Just like we said.
Let's talk about mathematics.
Just like we said, we don't know what will happen. Okay, just like I said, we don't know what will happen in the 3 outstanding games they have. Likewise, we don't know what will happen in, the CAF that they are playing. So this is football. So that's what I said. Every team, especially Rangers and Nasarawa United, should not lose hope. They should just keep playing and keep winning as many games as possible. Right now, fixtures are compiled for Fini the George Rivers United. So we don't know if the players will get fatigued or whatever. I don't know how well he rotates his players, so to speak. So let's just watch what will happen.
To talk on that point about Fini the George, you mentioned him being a league champion already with Enyimba. You can't discount experience. You can't discount the fact that he has been there and done it. But Divine has points that he made, which I kind of concur with based on, the fatigue that is going to be there is also very, very important. We know when you are, checking your schedule and checking teams that you have to play and planning that, you have to check the player welfare and stuff like that. And sometimes he might not want to take out his best players because he needs the point. So all those things are little things. But I think because he has won the league already, I think he can navigate it much more easier than, let's say, a rookie coach would.
Yeah, totally agree. And just an update on the scheme of things, what's happening in the NPFL at the moment. I gave you an update of the games that are being played. Remo Stars are still losing 1-0. It's the 58 minutes, losing 1-0 at home to Plateau United, while Kwara United have doubled their lead. They are leading Warrior Wolves by 2-0. That will do their survival hopes a great deal of good because they are currently 17th on the log, just 1 point away from safety, and they have a game in hand. Barao FC are leading Oga Boys 1-0, so it's still looking very, very dicey because Barao FC have 10 minutes to play minus stoppage time to see this out. Okay, so that's that for the NPFL. We go straight to what many Nigerian fans, especially those who are of the Rivers persuasion, do not want to hear, and that's the CAF Champions League. The CAF Champions League results in the CAF Champions League match day 4, that's round 4 of the CAF Champions League, are as follows. The game between Al Hilal and Mamelodi Sundowns ended with Al Hilal getting a victory 2-1 in Group C. That was a Group C clash. Group B clash, you had Young Africans and Al Ahly having a 1-1 draw, sharing a 1-1 draw, while Group D had Petro de Luanda and Stade Malien having a goalless draw. It was even Stevens, nothing between them in terms of goals scored or conceded. Group B had AS FAR beating Kabylie 1-0. Then Group D again had Simba and Esperance de Tunis sharing a 2-2 draw. Then in the Group C match between MC Alger and Seneloa Lupopo, it ended 2-0 in favor of MC Alger. Then the games that happened in Group A, and that's our major focus right now in the next couple of minutes. Pyramids FC, the defending champions of Egypt, the third Egyptian side to win the CAF Champions League alongside Al Ahly and Zamalek, thrashed RS Berkane 3-0. No, we're talking about that. I don't know where that one goal came from, but it was 3-0 actually. They beat them 3-0. While Rivers United contrived to put themselves to shame and lost at home to Power Dynamos 1-0. So what that means is that it's looking very, 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 very precarious for Rivers United because in Group A, the CAF Champions League 2025-2026 season, Group A stands this way. Pyramids, the defending champions, have 10 points from 4 games, having won 3, drawn 1, and lost none, with 7 goals scored and none conceded. Then RS Berkane are second. They have played 4 games. They have 2 wins, 1 draw, and 1 defeat, which is what they suffered at the hands of Pyramids, 3-0. And they've scored 5 goals, conceded 4, a +1 goal difference with 7 points. Power Dynamos, thanks to that 1-0 win, a smash and grab win that they got against Rivers United, have played 4 games. They've lost 1. They've won 1, drawn 1, and then lost 2. They've scored 1 goal and conceded 4. They have 4 points. While Rivers United are rock bottom, the basement boys, the outlaws of the group, because they have played 4 games, won none, drawn 1, and lost 3, with 1 goal scored and 6 goals conceded. That is quite shameful. 1 point, which means that Rivers United's chances of qualifying beyond the group stage hinge on RS Berkane losing their remaining 2 games, then Power Dynamos losing 1 of their remaining 2 games, and then Rivers United winning their remaining 2 games. You know, in Nigeria, we like using calculators and doing permutations here and there and there. Let's just call a spade, not the garden implement. Is there any hope for Rivers United?
Should I chip in?
No, you can start then. I'll get to music.
Hopes for Rivers United. Hope is not a business strategy, like you always say, seriously speaking. For Rivers United, I can't really guarantee that anything can happen, anything special will happen. But it's football. But the chances, I'm just using this way, the chances of a miracle, let me say it this way, the chances of a miracle to happen based on the analysis, the statistics you just dropped now, is a little slim to none. Like, I'm not seeing them, surviving this. I'm sorry to say that I'm just being, straightforward. I'm just being honest as possible. But nope, Rivers United, they are not getting away from this. They are not having things their way at this point now. Based on this condition, what they are in now.
Before I get Zig's thoughts, it just reminded me of a scene from one of my best films of all time, Schindler's List, where the man Oscar Schindler was. There was a train that was carrying some Jews to the gas chamber. So he took a hose of water and was pouring inside there so they could drink because they were very thirsty. He was being compassionate. But the villain, Imongoth, was saying, Oscar, that's very cruel of you. You're giving them hope. How can you give them hope?
At this kind of situation.
So I was just checking to see whether you give Rivers United hope. But anyway.
I'm sorry, I can't. Please forgive me.
Like my friend once said.
Finish George, no verse, I beg.
My friend in school then, in university, he said, blessed are the hopeless, for they shall not be disappointed. Okay, Zik, over to you, please.
Do I need to say much?
No, you might have a contrary view. I don't know.
I don't think so. We talked about this on Friday, you and I, on show and on air. I don't think there's much more. It was a must-win on Sunday. I said it, I reiterated it, I emphasized on it, and they couldn't seal the job. They couldn't even score a goal.
At home, for that matter.
It's quite unfortunate. I don't think that you're looking for a lot of permutations to fall in for them. So let's just be realistic. It's not going to happen for them. It's quite unfortunate because I wanted, them to carry the torch for Nigerian football because it's been a downhill. It's been a downhill period for us in CAF competitions lately. So, but maybe next time, better luck.
Okay, I guess that ship has sailed. And just one more bit of news that we'll give at least let's end this first segment on a good note. For those of us who are here in the southeast, particularly in Rangers, in Enugu to be precise, Rangers, the good news has to do with the fact that the Rangers under-19 youth team have thrashed the Onyimotor FC 14-0 ahead of the Viareggio Cup. The Viareggio Cup is going to take place in Italy later this year, and Onyimotor FC were the latest victims of the Rangers under-19 youth team. So they got a vital victory there, 14-0. Yeah, I know they probably won't replicate that scoreline in the Viareggio Cup, but at least it boosts your morale and shows you how effective you can be when it comes to scoring goals. So the future for Rangers International is bright, and we're here to witness it live and direct. Let's just start. Yeah, I know. Enyimba and Abia clapping for Rangers. I appreciate. No, on behalf of the Rangers management, I accept your applause.
Why do you have to make things complicated?
That's complicated.
I just appreciated a very good result from Enugu Rangers on the 19 youth teams, and then you now have to bring Enyimba and Abia Warriors into it. Like, really,
for people to look at you as
really, am I a villain? Really, for appreciating Enugu Rangers?
I'm suspecting you.
Why are you suspecting me?
Anyway, guys, we'll be right back after a short message. We have some other places to go to beyond Nigeria, and we will cover them. A lot of news has happened. So many tensions in the world of sports, and we are here to give them to you live and direct on the Afia Sports Review Spot on Afia TV. Stay tuned. You're welcome back to the Afia Sports Review Sports on Afia TV. The frequencies are still the same: channel 254 DSTV, channel 17 Go TV, and channel 748 Free TV. Welcome back, guys. I hope you had a wonderful time on the continent, and particularly in the southeast of Nigeria, Enugu to be precise, talking about the NPFL and everything that happened in the CAF Champions League. Now, we go straight to Europe. We are in Europe as we speak, and we're going to start with the English Premier League, pretty much the most followed league in the world of football in Europe, particularly. And we're going to start with the results that happened in round 24. Wolverhampton Wanderers, who seemed doomed, lost at home to Bournemouth, AFC Bournemouth, 2-0. While Brighton and Hove Albion had a 1-1 draw against Everton. Everton were very, very lucky to get that vital equalizer in that game. And then Chelsea Football Club came from behind, losing 2-0 to West Ham United. They came from behind and beat a 10-man West Ham United 3-2 to continue their run. Newcastle United lost at home to Liverpool Football Club. Of course, the double had been done right now, 4-1. And Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace, 10-man Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace shared the result, a 1-1 draw at the Forest ground. Aston Villa lost at home to Brentford, 10-man Brentford, by the way. Brentford had a man shot at centre-off in the first half, so they lost at Villa Park. Manchester United had a topsy-turvy game where they played 3-2, beat Fulham FC 3-2. Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester City had a 2-2 draw in a crazy game, very crazy game indeed, where Manchester City grabbed a draw from the jaws of victory, a game of two halves, where they scored 2 goals in the first half, only to concede 2 goals in the second half. While the biggest winners were Arsenal Football Club because they blew the title race not wide open. They reduced the chances of their pursuers to actually overtake them in the title league by creating a 6-point gap. And they did this by going to a ground, Elland Road, where Leeds United had lost only once in 11 games, and then thrashed them 4-0 as a reply to what happened over the last weekend. So that's how serious the results have been. 9 p.m., just one game remaining in round 24 in the EPL. That's where Sunderland will be hosting Burnley in the Stadium of Light. So as it stands, the English Premier League, Arsenal are on top of the log with 53 points, while Manchester City are second with 47 points. Then Aston Villa are third with 46 points. Manchester United are fourth with 41 points. Chelsea are fifth with 40 points. That's the Champions League zone. Then in sixth position, you have Liverpool with 39 points. Brentford are seventh with 36 points. Fulham are eighth with 34 points, the same number of points as Everton in ninth, while Newcastle United, Sunderland, their time-wear rivals, and Bournemouth share 33 points, but they are currently 10th, 11th, and 12th, respectively. Brighton and Hove Albion are 13th with 31 points. Tottenham Hotspur and Crystal Palace share 29 points, but they are 14th and 15th, respectively. While Leeds United have 26 points, the same number of points as Nottingham Forest, 26. It's looking very, very bleak for the bottom three sides because West Ham United are 18th on the log with 20 points, while Burnley have been sucked into the situation there with 15 points, 19th on the log. And the team that is doomed, but took a little bit of a turn recently, but now is back to square one, are Wolverhampton Wanderers, the only side in the English Premier League who are yet to have double figures in terms of points on the board. 8 points is what they have in the English Premier League. Now let's get to business right now. Massive game indeed. Arsenal Football Club, for instance, because those are the two key games in this title race. In fact, there are 3 games that you look at within the context of the title race, because focus on many is the title race. Yeah. You're looking at the Aston Villa game against Brentford, a game that they just had to win, and then Manchester City's game against what's the name? Against Tottenham Hotspur. A game they had to win. Now, why did I say they had to win those games? Because they were playing catch-up. Yeah. Arsenal had already played their game again on Saturday, and they had won convincingly on the ground where others had struggled. They're giving Elland Road something to think about, where they gave them a mauling, 4-0. The first goal was scored by Subimendi, which means somehow he atoned his
For his
error
pass
from the
mistakes.
game, pass mistake against Manchester United.
United.
The second goal initially was given as an own goal to the goalkeeper, Daro, but was now reversed after much examination. It's now a goal given to Onyimotor. He scored the rally from the corner, which is called an Olympico.
Yeah.
Then in the second half, Victor Gyökeres scored an elusive goal, very, very important goal there from open play. He did his confidence a lot of boost, a lot of good. And then Gabriel Jesus came on for Gyökeres and then scored. After 3 attempts, his third attempt, which was the most difficult of the 3 attempts, he scored. So Leeds United, for context, have conceded 4 goals or more only twice this season in the Premier League, and it's against the same team. Because Arsenal beat them 5-0. And 4 goals in a single game in the Premier League. That's a 4-goal margin has been very, very difficult this season. In fact, in all the games that have been played this season, there have been 6 games where a team won by 4 goals or more margin. Arsenal did it twice. So I don't know. Is it time? Was this okay? Let me start with you now, Zeke. Was this before I get to, because I need to get your thoughts too, Divine. Was this a perfect reply to the question that some pundits and some other people had concerning the mentality of Arsenal, the ability to bounce back? Because Arsenal had gone 3 games without a win. They had 2 draws, back-to-back draw against Liverpool, a goalless draw at the Emirates, a goalless draw against Nottingham Forest at Forest Ground, and then a loss at home to Manchester United. What was this? What kind of fire? What was this fire in their belly all this while?
I don't think it was anything different from what Arsenal have been used to. It's just those results you called for or you just named have been just
blips.
Yeah, circumstances that happen in seasons. Sometimes in season you can't win all your games and you can't always perform at the best optimal standard or
level
or level, like you said. But I think for me, it's a good response to what happened against Manchester United. And it wasn't as if the Arsenal was horrible against Manchester United. It's just that the moment overtook them. It went beyond them. But winning against Leeds, like you said, 4-goal margin, I think the Premier League has been quite defensive this season. But Arsenal have destroyed Leeds 2 times this season, 5-0 and 4-0. It will boost the confidence of the team, the players, the manager, the fans, that they are here for the ride. And winning your game on Saturday for your rivals to come and capitulate on Sunday, there's no better feeling for them than that. And it will give them even a better spring in their steps for the game that they're going to play on Tuesday against Chelsea.
Okay, very important. Now, coming to you, I'll touch this. You need to touch this Arsenal game again before we move to the other game that's of utmost importance, and that's the big game between Manchester City and Tottenham Hotspur. Now, Arsenal it seems everybody was on fire. They had a point to prove. I mean, just alluding to what Zeke talked about. Onyimotor had always, and this was a game that had Bukayo Saka. He was supposed to start that game, but he just minutes before the game started, doing a warm-up, he had a hip injury. Yeah. Fears have been allayed anyway, but a hip injury. But in times past, I think recent seasons, like even last season, as recent as last season, if that happened, there would have been panic all around.
Exactly.
But it was as if, a regular day in the office. We've seen that several times this season where Saliba picked up an injury. Mosquera came in, he wasn't missed at all. Certain players have just filled in.
No void was.
There's no void. And isn't that a pointer to his strength in depth? Now, that strength in depth, is it enough to get Arsenal over the finish line? There are 14 games still to play. And these 14 games are like 14 cup finals.
Yeah.
What do you make of Arsenal? Are they the real deal? Do they look like they are the team to beat at the moment? But do they look like they have what it takes to cross the finish line? We're talking about the reality. Do they have what it takes to cross the finish line in the Premier League? Do they have what it takes, considering their rival slip-ups? So we'll get to that in a bit, because I want to talk about the Man City game against Tottenham Hotspur.
So now, talking about Arsenal, let me answer that question outrightly. Yes, Arsenal has what it takes to be EPL champions this season, as long as this season is concerned. The difference between last season and this season was the squad depth.
Okay.
Arteta knew what he wanted. He saw players he needed to bring into this team that will add depth to the team. Just like you said, Saliba will have an injury, someone comes in immediately. Saka, you said it, Saka, hip injury, and Arsenal still won clean, 4-0. They didn't concede any goal. There was no leakage of any kind. Gabriel Jesus came in, his third chance, he scores. So we can see that it's almost too easy now. Because why? The squad depth of Arsenal this season has been impeccable. You remove a top player, you bring another top player who knows what to do, who knows what is needed of him to do. So with that mentality, and let's not get it wrong, there's still a fighting mentality in the team. It's a normal setback that you win some games, you lose some. But the problem is not losing. The problem is coming back to win again. Yes. So this is typical Arsenal that we've seen. As of last season, if Arsenal loses a game, everyone's like, are you sure they'll be able to...
Now the annual collapse has come again.
That's it. Good. But now, they lost to home Manchester United at home. They use the fighting mentality to go away from home and win. Not just winning, they got 4 points. I mean, they got 4 goals. So, come on. Arsenal has what it takes to, finish the league. It's not even a question. It's just a matter of how long can they go and then when will they leave the trophy? How many matches remaining?
Okay, now talking about collapsing, let's stay on that word collapsing as we segue down to the game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against Man City. Now, this is a Tottenham Hotspur that was seriously stricken by injuries. They had so many players out by injuries, so they were decimated basically. And Manchester City had to go there and play against them, get the result. They had to get the win, and they were good value for the win by the end of the first half. A goal that, for me, was a very easy goal that was scored by Cherki. After Haaland, he picked it from Haaland. Haaland stumbled over, and then he was there. I don't know why the players they were ball watching, but he went there and scored. And there was conspiracy going around. But when the Tottenham Hotspur will never want to see Arsenal win the title because they are sworn rivals. But that was what was feeding or fueling the conspiracy theories. But we saw what happened there. Cherki scored a very beautiful goal. Take nothing away from him. He saw the chance. He scored the goal. Then Antoine Semenyo has been a man on fire. His 5th goal for Manchester City. He scored, and the game was dead and buried. Until the second half, it was a game of 2 halves. Now, this brings us down to the issue, the game of 2 halves. Dominic Solanke, who some even claim is an Arsenal fan, I don't know, but there's an allegation that he's an Arsenal fan, but that's by the way, that's neither here nor there, because you need to be professional when you play your game. He did that. Tottenham were 15th before this game started. They have their own issues. They need to boost out. So Solanke scored the first goal, which was even questionable to many because he kicked the leg of the new signing, Manchester City's new signing, McGahey, as the ball was going in. So we've seen cases where that would have been given as a foul, and the goal would have been disallowed. Cancel. But I'll say what I see about that, what happened there, because we analyzed and we pointed it out just in passing. Then Solanke was there and then scored a very... How do you even explain that goal? The equalizer. A very strange goal. I was thinking that it was Olivier Giroud or thinking it was Eric Mkhitaryan and then forgot to position himself. Was that the scorpion kick or the lotus kick or what? Is it the praying mantis kick? I don't know, but the ball went in there. And then I've noticed something. Manchester City are usually built for control, but not for chasing. Chasing games has been difficult for them, especially this season. And it's down to the issues of mentality. I want to come to you on that, Zeke. An interview was given after the game, and interviews were given anyway. And this man, Rodri, the former Ballon d'Or winner, Rodri was complaining, and there's an investigation into his complaints. He may be banned for that, about the referees' decisions and all that. But this is the same Rodri. He claimed that was meant to be, that was a foul. But this is the same Rodri who has talked about mentality. His mentality was not there. He was even wretched. And this is somebody who was on a yellow card and committed 2 very glaring offenses that should have given him a second yellow. But he was not given a second yellow. He was claiming that the referees were being unfair to Manchester City. They've won it too many times. And that kind of statement can get you into hot water. But down to what he's saying, because it's more like a twist. Will you say that statement that he made when Man City won the title 2 seasons ago has come back to bite him, saying that Arsenal lacked what they lacked, which was a mentality? He pointed at his head, but it was nowhere to be found there. Because truth be told, if you remember the first goal, Maguire stepped on the foot of Solanke. He did. So ordinarily, that's supposed to have been a foul.
Yeah.
But Solanke stood his ground and kicked the ball. So the leg was there. He kicked the ball. He made contact with Gay's leg, and the goal went in there. It was scored. I don't know what to make of that. Some referees would have just waved that off if the goal hadn't found the back of the net. If VAR had been called upon to look at that, it's also possible that Gay would have been given his marching orders. Or it would have been called as a penalty because his leg went first. He stamped on the leg of Gay. But down to this issue of mentality, what is your take concerning this? What contributed to the collapse of Manchester City against a decimated Tottenham Hotspur that they were leading by halftime? Because I'm still finding it hard to explain this. They spent in January transfer window more than £100 million on two very, very quality players, Antoine Semenyo particularly, and Maguire. So how do you explain this? I really need to hear your thoughts.
On which one are we talking about? The mentality?
Particularly the issue, like what was responsible? What could it be the mentality? If not, what else?
For Manchester City.
For Man City's collapse. Their second half collapsed because they panicked. There was panic. They collapsed. Everybody could see it. But how do you see that?
I don't think it's a question of mentality. I think it's a question of, like you said earlier, lack of control. But this City team is not a City team that is built for control. Because Pep himself tried to use the same philosophy and the same principle that he used to win his league titles last 2 seasons and last season, and it was destroyed. You saw the period that they were, having crisis from I think mid-October till December, where everything was so horrible for Man City that they were technically out of the league. They had already been out of the Cups. They were thrashed by Madrid in January, February, I think.
Yes.
So I think that same underbelly, that soft underbelly is still there with Manchester City. I don't think it's a question of mentality. And when Rodri said this, made this statement that you're talking about mentality, about Arsenal, he was in the right. They had won 4 leagues in a row. Arsenal had not won anything. So you can't blame him for whatever he said in 2024, 2025, whatever. And also remember, a lot of things have happened in football. He has had a Ballon d'Or and an ACL, recurring injury. Arsenal have gone to a Champions League semi-final. They have come second again to Liverpool. But whether it's a question of mentality, no. I just think it's a question of Pep is transitioning the team. The team is no longer playing the same style of football that they have been playing. Now they are relying more of individual brilliance, the likes of Cherki, Doku. They are no longer keeping the ball as much as they used to. They're trying to be direct. And when you try to play this kind of fast-paced, attacking transition football, you tend to sacrifice control, security, because you're trying to, create more chances, create more opportunities. And that is what is happening to them. Rodri is not yet fit. He's not yet fit. Nico Gonzalez, I'm not yet convinced of him as a lone defensive pivot. And if you do not have a blanket, a defensive midfielder that can, protect that back four, of course you're going to concede chances. This is not the first game that City from a show of strength, whereby they are looking comfortable. We saw that against Fulham, 5-1 to 4-4. Our brother Chukwueze coming there and putting chaos for them. It's not because City all of a sudden are a bad team. They are still the highest goal scorers in the Premier League. But it's just that they can no longer manage games the way they used to manage games, whereby they can, create passing triangles and
dominate and still win.
Eat up the time and stuff like that. So what has happened now is the game has gotten faster. The game has gotten much more fiercer. And if, like I said, if you miss the 50-50 balls in that transition, you get punished. And Arsenal now are a stable team whereby they control all those facets. The one game I remember, like we said, that last week, they didn't control the facet. Those second balls, United took it from Arsenal. That's why Arsenal lost. Not because Arsenal played badly, but because those 50-50 balls, which is what is happening now in modern football, you have to be able to control not only the way you attack, but the way the opposition attacks you. Football is not only about one side, it's a combination. So I think it's not a mentality thing, it's just the way the game is.
Okay,
right now.
Divine, I'll get to you in just maybe a couple of minutes. A minute, actually, because we need to move to the next one. Manchester City. I've heard everything that Nozik has said, and very, very spot on. Agreed. It's Man City, two things I'll just ask you and you just give me. Manchester City, just like Zeke said, has sacrificed control.
Yeah.
And what they've gained from control, instead of control, is a bit of chaos.
Yeah.
Could it be that, first of all, do Man City have any hope of winning the Premier League title as it stands
This season?
this season? And then secondly, how much of that control problem is attributable to the presence of Donnarumma? Donnarumma, remember, is not the kind of goalkeeper that Ederson was, that Claudio Bravo was.
The ball-playing goalkeeper.
He's never been that kind of goalkeeper, and that's part of the issue, I think, but I don't know what your thoughts are on. So just in about a minute, let's
Okay, so chances of... Your first question was, is Man City capable of winning?
And this setback, does this setback, yeah, it's possible for them to win the league. But I'm talking about the probability considering the setback. The chances.
Okay, the chances are a little slim to none. Right now, it's 6 points ahead. And Arsenal is looking very, very, very sharp right now. That 4-0 win against Leeds is a statement that they've made. No matter what happened at Emirates, where they lost to Manchester United, we are shaking, but we are not out of the woods yet. So Arsenal looks like the team who have the better chances of carrying that league. 6 points, and of course they are not backing out anytime soon. That is number one. Should I go ahead and answer?
No, go ahead. Yes, very quickly, please.
Okay. Then the second question was
it has to do with Donnarumma.
Yeah. Okay,
is he a misfit? Just in a long shot. Is he a misfit?
He's not a misfit. If he can be taught how to play, that's if he can taught how to play. At the age of
25, at the age of 27.
Who can? Of course,
you're calling Donnarumma. I don't agree. It's Donnarumma's fault that they are having chaotic.
Actually, I gave my own view.
Okay, I'm just trying to answer.
It's not actually Donnarumma's fault, but because you asked if Donnarumma about his ball playing, good, he can still be taught. There is no time too late to learn anything. As long as what we are saying is concerned, Donnarumma can still learn how to play the ball. Number one. Then number two, sacrificing dominance for what we are seeing now. As long as a team is in transition, a football team is in transition, things like this are bound to happen. They are even lucky that they are still in a second place. So they are still, for a team that is in transition, Manchester City is still doing well. For a team that is in transition, transitioning from dominance to fast attack and individual brilliance. So it's what we are seeing is not bad.
Okay, well said. So let's see how that goes. Now we'll go straight to the Spanish La Liga. Round 22 of the Spanish La Liga, we had results there where Espanyol lost at home to Alaves 2-1. Real Oviedo got a very, very rare win over Girona 1-0. Then Osasuna and Viareggio shared the spoils, 2 goals apiece. Levante and Atletico de Madrid had a goalless draw there in Valencia. Elche lost at home to Barcelona Football Club, 1-3. While Real Madrid left it very late to beat 10-man Rayo Vallecano. 9-man Rayo Vallecano. Eventually, it was 2 people that were sent off. Very, very late. A 10th minute. Kylian Mbappe penalty. 10 minutes of extra time. Kylian Mbappe of 90 minutes. That's 10 minutes. In 90 minutes, yes. Okay. Extra time, he scored the winning goal, 2-1. Real Betis beat Valencia 2-1. Getafe and Celta de Vigo had a goalless draw. Athletic Bilbao drew with Real Sociedad. 10-man Real Sociedad 1-1. While Mallorca and Sevilla will be playing tonight by 9 p.m. Okay, we are moving very, very quickly. Let's go straight to the UEFA Champions League playoff draws. In the UEFA Champions League playoff draws, I want to find those draws right now because there are some very, very interesting draws that we had there. And of course, we'll just stick with the UEFA Champions League draws. UEFA Champions League, the playoff draws, let's just as a reminder, in the UEFA Champions League, yes, you can see them there, but I'll just pick out a few of them. You should look at the final standings in the UEFA Champions League and in the UEFA Europa League. You know that there are 36 teams that play in the league format. Then the top 8 teams qualify automatically to the round of 16, while the teams that finish from 9th to 24th finish in the playoff rounds. Then from 25th down to the 36th, the people can play golf or fishing or something that's not football. Now, what that means is that the teams that finish from 9th to 24th have a second crack of the whip. A second bite of the cherry is what they have. And the draws are here. Monaco will be hosting PSG in an all-French playoff. Then Benfica will be hosting Real Madrid in the first leg. After that, just a repeat of what happened on the last day, match day 8 of the Champions League, where a goalkeeper scored the goal that pushed them into the situation in the first place. Would there be revenge? Well, time will tell. Then Karabag will host Newcastle United in the first leg. And then Galatasaray will host Juventus. Osimhen has a big opportunity to do this against Juventus. Then Borussia Dortmund will host Atalanta. Atalanta no longer has the services of Ademola Lookman. We'll talk about that as we finish the show. And Club Brugge will be hosting Atletico Madrid, who are the new team of Ademola Lookman. We'll talk about that. Bodo Glimt will host Internazionale, while Olympiacos will host Bayer Leverkusen. So that's it for the playoffs. And then we go straight to the transfer. The transfer deadline is tonight. Transfer deadline ends tonight. And that's going to be a very big one indeed. The transfer deadline is tonight. Now, with the transfer deadline closing up tonight, that's the 2nd of February, the biggest transfer from a Nigerian perspective has to be the one that many of us have been wishing for. We saw that saga that involved Victor Osimhen. When he was that Napoli slavery, that Napoli bondage, eventually he went to Galatasaray. We saw something similar during the summer where Ademola Lookman was trying to force a move to Internazionale. It didn't work out. But now Lookman is no longer an Atalanta player in Bergamo. He has left Bergamo. He's now in Madrid in the Ramon Calderon. That's the Wanda Metropolitano Stadium in Madrid. Mm-hmm. So that, how big is that for our man, Ademola Lookman? Yes, okay. Please.
Well, it's a very good deal. I think he helps to improve Atletico's attacking options and quality. Mm-hmm. But for him, on a personal note,
yes,
I'm very happy for him leaving Atalanta. I think he was not appreciated enough for what he actually did. Here they gave him the platform to prove himself, because remember, he was not as highly rated as he was. But remember, this is a player that scored a hat-trick in the Europa League final. And it shows that he's a big name. He's a big shot. So for him to get this move to Atletico Madrid, I'm very, very happy for him. Very, very happy.
What's your thoughts?
It's a step forward. I see it as a step forward from Atalanta. At least he has a better chance of winning the Spanish La Liga now. He's in Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid wins La Liga once in a while. So I can say he has the chance of moving to Atletico Madrid. He has the chance of winning a La Liga at Atletico Madrid. He will play along the likes of Antoine Griezmann. He will play along what did I say? He will play along Solot. He will
Alvarez,
play God of mercy. So it's actually kind of a very wonderful addition to their squad depth. Yes. Diego Simeone is going to, utilize his attacking options.
My problem is, will Simeone utilize him?
He will.
Whether he utilizes or whatever Simeone does, that's Simeone's business. But now, of course, we also have a bit of news. I think Frank Onyeka has moved to Coventry. And then Mamadou Sarr has moved to Chelsea, has been recalled to Chelsea because of the injury issues that Chelsea is having there. Defensively, he's gone to boost up Chelsea. So Mamadou Sarr is in Chelsea Football Club as we speak. And that's how the deadline is going to end. We close the show today because of time with a big congratulations to the Grand Slam champions. The Grand Slam champions. First of all, we saw a massive game where Aryna Sabalenka went to four consecutive Australian Open finals, but it was not to be. She couldn't win the last one because she lost to Rybakina by 2-1. So Rybakina is the champion from Kazakhstan, the champion of the Australian Open till next year. She won her first Grand Slam title since the Wimbledon title that she won in 2022. And then, of course, the big one had to be the 3-1 win on the men's circuit, the ATP circuit, where Novak Djokovic lost 3-1 to Carlos Alcaraz. Alcaraz, the Spaniard, has now completed his career slam by winning his only elusive Grand Slam title, which was the Wimbledon, which was Australian Open. And it was fitting that he did that against the veteran Novak Djokovic, who was trying to get his 25th title, standalone title in his best tournament. He's a 10-time winner of the Australian Open and 24-time winner of Grand Slams totally. So tough luck to Novak Djokovic, but big congratulations to Carlos Alcaraz, one to watch in the future. Thank you very much, guys. I think it's about time we just call it a break. Zeke, thank you very much for being with us.
Pleasure.
The Divinator, thank you for what you always do.
Thank you.
And thank you very much, Goodness. You do a wonderful job behind the scenes. I appreciate you. And then those of us in the MCR and PCR, particularly, Moxie, thank you very much for what you do. And then we also have Victor there. I think Samson without Delilah is there too. Thank you very much for what you've been doing lately. Emeka has been working behind the scenes. I appreciate you. We'll do this again next time around. That should be during the Afia Sports Banter Box on Thursday. Till then, remain blessed. I'm Sisi the Rabbi, signing out.